the twilight's last gleaming, and the bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting near, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank God for America. Do we have any veterans in the audience? If you're a veteran, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And now we're going to sing a song that has become the second to the national anthem, and it's called God Bless the USA. If tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life, and I had to start all over with my family and my life, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today. The flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend yours till today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota, the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time we stood to say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I'll proudly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Again, everybody, thank you all for coming. My name is Gary Fannin. I'm the author of a book called The Innocence of Oswald, but basically I'm a researcher and I've been studying JFK for 37 years. And I've had the fortune of knowing somebody like Beverly Oliver, Bob Groden, Judith, others. I'm going to keep this short and simple. I've got a little prepared speech, okay? When you get asked to do something like this, you better be prepared. And because there's a few kids here and Beverly and Charles, I will clean it up. But not with a dust cloth. I'm going to clean up the language. But again, I apologize if I'm not looking directly in your eyes, but I'm so nervous up here it doesn't matter. I mean, I got to look at this thing. So today, November 22nd, we pay our respects to President John F. Kennedy, who was brutally murdered here 53 years ago today. A coup d'etat which changed America and the world. I want to take a few minutes to address the largest challenge we have within the JFK community, and that's the mainstream media and their inability to investigate and tell the truth in a free society. Mark Lane, again, another good friend, unfortunately passed away this past March, but Mark Lane said, the government says Oswald did it and did it alone, but we can't show you everything for national security. So which one of those statements is true? I'm not going to make this a political message because, again, I think we got enough problems in this country, but I asked for President-elect Trump to release the files of the Assassinations Record Review Board, which is supposed to be in October of 2017, and to stop hiding under this false flag of national security. Gregory Burnham, another great researcher, said in the early 1950s, the CIA launched a propaganda program called Operation Mockingbird to control and manipulate the public. They're still alive and thriving today, more so because President Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act of 1996, and because of this, 95% of the media is owned by 6 corporations alone, okay? They cover everything, okay? There's not a story that goes out there that they don't have their hands on. They never report the true facts behind the murder of JFK. They've been in bed with the CIA for now 70 years. Even here in Dallas, for 49 years, people like Beverly, Bob, others, we kept this plaza alive, okay? In the late 70s, they wanted to tear down this building because they were ashamed of it, okay? But because of people like Beverly, Bob, Penn Jones, Gary Shaw, Larry Howard, Larry Harris, and others, again, they wanted to tear this down. And in 1988, the 6th floor museum opened, okay? And in 1993, the entire plaza was named a National Historic Landmark, okay? In 2013, the 50th anniversary, Mayor Mike Rawlings called for a public celebration of the life and times of President Kennedy. But his public celebration did not include Beverly, who is standing over there, James Tague, who was standing down there, Bill and Gail Newman, okay, eyewitnesses to the tragedy could not get in. You know why? Because we didn't, I gotta watch the language, we didn't swallow their crap that they were giving us. City officials in conjunction with the 6th floor museum, they have cited or ticketed or arrested Bob Groden 84 times over the past 20 years. You know what his conviction rate is? 0. Okay, he's never been found guilty of anything. Okay? The other thing, the plaque installed out at 10th and Patton for Officer Tippett's murder. Again, a horrible thing. But again, that plaque was bought, paid for, written by, and installed by Ferris Rookstall III, a former FBI agent. Exactly. Melody just said there's no such thing as a former FBI agent. How did the plaque on the school book depository in '81 say allegedly, yet in 2012 he became the murderer over here? Again, I'm going to watch my language. In 1975, the Church Committee exposed Operation Mockingbird for what they are, a propaganda scheme infiltrated upon our lives to shield us from the truth. In 1975, their budget for Operation Mongoose, controlling people in the media, in 1975, their budget was $265 million. That is equivalent to $2.1 billion in today's money. Beverly and others, I'm working on a documentary with John Barber. If you don't know who John Barber is, he created the show Real People, did the first Jim Garrison tapes, wonderful man. But I'm working on a documentary that we premiered yesterday at the screening at the Texas Theater. But in it, okay, CIA Director William Casey, when he was talking to President Reagan after Reagan got nominated, Reagan asked him what his agenda was. This is what Casey said. We will know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American people believe is false. You know, one visible sign that Operation Mockingbird is still vibrant is, again, the news agencies don't compete with each other. They don't investigate anything. They just throw up the propaganda, okay? In 1967, CBS News was interviewing Orville Nixon, asking where the shots came from, because he did a film from over here. And he said, again, up here on, you know, by the Grassy Knoll area, and they kept cutting him off and said, no, where did the Warren Commission say the shots came from? He goes, the book depository. They go, yeah, that's what we want you to say. Again, I'm gonna speed this up because I just want everybody to get on with it, and I'm still too nervous. Okay, now, I want to discuss this because, again, Operation Mockingbird. Anybody here buy Bill O'Reilly's book, Killing Kennedy? I was going to say, if you did, you shouldn't be here. But he has on his book, on page 300, that he was on the doorstep of DeMorn Schilt's daughter's house when he blew his brains out. Yet, I talked to two people that worked with him here at WFAA, and Gaetan Fonzie recorded a phone call that said, I'm going to come down there tomorrow. Okay, when I approached Fox News about him lying, when I approached his book company about lying, this is what they said to me. We're not going to let one small little small little detail ruin the fact that this is an excellent book. Well, I mean, if you don't mind people lying to your face, I guess it's okay. And again, I'm going to say this. I've always said this, and what I'm talking about here is, again, books. Okay, Bob Groden's written 5 books. He's co-written another 9 or 10 probably. Beverly's written, how many quotes? How many reviews did you have of the New York Times? Yeah, none. Okay, how about you? No, I didn't get any either. But Bill O'Reilly's got them. You know, Bill O'Reilly, Dale Myers, again, the people that are telling the lie, they get paid better. And I'm just going to finish this up with this, okay? It's been as high as 81% of the people believe there's a conspiracy, okay? You know who doesn't believe it's a conspiracy? Every president, every vice president, every member of Congress, every member of the Senate, all appointed Supreme Court justices since 1964. Oswald did it alone, okay? These 546 people represent 315 million Americans, okay? Now, if you take that number, it's a 0.0000019% approval rating. So how can they be wrong? I'm going to finish real quick, and I want to say this. We're here to honor President Kennedy and the travesty that happened here. And I want to, I'm sure most of you have heard it, but I want to repeat what Ted Kennedy said about Robert Kennedy at his eulogy. He said, "My brother need not be idolized or enlarged in death beyond what he was in life, but to be remembered simply as a good and decent man who saw wrong and tried to right it, saw suffering and tried to heal it, and saw war and tried to stop it. Those of us who love him and take him to his rest today pray that for what he was to us and what he wished for others will someday come to pass for all the world. As he said many times in many parts of this nation, to those he touched and who sought to touch him, some men see things as they are and say, why not? I dream things that never were and say, why not?" I dream things that never were and say, why not? I believe the same could be said for the entire Kennedy family, God bless the people that served in our military, to achieve peace on earth in their lifetime for all people, for all time. The world as we know it today will never see the peace that John Kennedy envisioned unless our world leaders search for the truth and find peace in their decisions. Thank you guys very much, and I want to introduce, if you don't know who Bob Groton is, again, I said this the other day, you're living under a rock. This man, he's my mentor. Forget the books, just everything that the man has done to find the truth in this assassination. Nobody I know of has done more than this man, and I want to introduce my friend Bob Groton.
Thank you, Gary. Beautiful job. Folks, welcome and thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for caring. 53 years. Can you believe it? The cover-up has lasted that long and none of us believe it. It's insane. You know, John Kennedy gave his life for what he believed in. It wasn't by choice. He realized that the danger was here and he came anyway. What gets me is that with his sacrifice for all of this, the city of Dallas has gone out of their way to cover this up for all these years. And they have. They have. I moved down here to Dallas 24 years ago to try to counter the garbage that is told by the Sixth Floor Museum. They get away with it. They get millions of people every year, and they brag about it. They're inside. We're out here. Some of you may know that the Sixth Floor Museum was involved in having me arrested twice down here, thrown in jail, ticketed 84 times by the Dallas police. And this is done because they don't want there to be an alternative point of view. It must kill them to see all you people here caring about the truth. Bless you all. If it wasn't for you, the work that we do would mean nothing. It would mean absolutely nothing. Of all the people that are here, I know many of you, and I've seen many of you through the years, and some of you are down here more than just on the anniversary, but you do come on the anniversary, and that's really, really, really appreciated. I see many people. There's Jane Kennedy over there. Jane is the only Kennedy that comes to Dealy Plaza, and it's always wonderful to see her here. Last night, some of us may have seen, I know we saw it, but Randy Benson's fabulous new documentary, which is called The Searchers, the one without John Wayne. Anyway, it's a remarkable document which preserves the statements, the feelings, and the work of so many in the research community, some of which are now gone, sadly. We lost lots of people. Out here in the plaza, this gathering was started by Penn Jones so many years ago, and when Penn passed away, it was taken over by John Judge, and kept going for all these years. I'm honored to be part of this now. And once again, you know, those of you who come out here, some of you travel a long distance, some from overseas, you come because you care. You understand the importance of what John Kennedy meant to us, what his sacrifice was through the year, and we wonder now, 53 years later, will we ever know the entire truth? I used to think it would be a lot easier to find the truth and have it accepted than it has been. The Dallas Morning News does very, very little to report the truth, virtually nothing. The Dallas Observer has written many, many stories about what the Dallas police have done to me. And I'm really, really proud and happy that we have the support of Williamsburg, or I wish we had the support of the Dallas Morning News. If it hadn't been for the involvement of the press in the cover-up, the official cover-up would never exist. They would never get away with the crap that they tell up there at the Sixth Floor Museum. But they do get away with it. They get away with it, and they make a fortune, hand over fist. They're charging, I'm not sure how much they're charging now. It is still 16, okay. I expect they'll probably raise that. They raised it after 9/11. Took advantage of that. I don't know how they get away with it, but they get people here. And, it's a double-edged sword. It brings people here, and we're here on the knoll. They charge $16. We don't charge anything, and we'll tell you the truth. And Marshall Evans over there has worked with me for the last 16 years, working here in the Plaza, trying to get the truth out and answering people's questions. That's the main thing that we do. People want to know the truth. They come here to learn it, and they're not going to get it from the Sixth Floor Museum. We've learned that a long time ago. I've got to do two presentations today, one here and one at Lee's grave later on. You're all welcome to come and invited out at Shannon Rosehill Cemetery in Fort Worth. Was Judy here?
Yeah, she's here.
Judith Baker's around here too. She actually knew Lee Harvey Oswald. She was close to him, and she has gone out of her way and put her life on the line to try to get the truth out, to try to set the record straight. Bless her heart. It has not been an easy job for her, and the other side fights the truth very, very hard. I'm looking at the clock up there because I've got to. Yeah, I figured that was wrong. Okay. You can't hear back there?
There's Judith.
Well, that's Joe. I'm sorry if you can't hear it. I'm speaking as loud as I can. That's better? That's better. Thanks, Joe. How many of you people have been here before? Good. 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 The fact that we show up and the fact that the press doesn't cover it must tell you a lot. And with all the TV stations that are here, you'd think that there would be more coverage of something like this. This is a major event. Back in the 50th anniversary, were any of you here for that fiasco? Yeah. I'm telling you. For those of you who are aware, the city had a formal point of view that they were not going to allow the mention of the assassination. Never mind a conspiracy, forget that. They wouldn't even mention the assassination. They wouldn't say why they were here, why the thing was going on. And the mayor of Dallas got up there and gave this long-winded speech and never mentioned the assassination. That white X out in the street, which has become somewhat iconic, I put that down there when I came down here 24 years ago, and Marshall and I have kept that thing going now for all of these years. The city dug up the street from there to there to get rid of the white X. They said that they didn't want anyone to trip over it. They really did. I'm not kidding you. They really said that. They said that the X could be dangerous to people. You know, I guess the truth is dangerous to the city anyway. You know, there are other issues that John Judge used to deal with. I don't deal with other ones here except for the assassination. The assassination has always mattered to me, has always been the most important thing, and I try not to deal with other issues. People ask me about 9/11 all the time. People ask me about other assassinations. And I try not to deal with that because the more you get into, the harder it is to maintain focus on this. And this is really the most important thing for me. I'm watching the clock again, and we're getting some feedback here. Sorry about that.
5 minutes, Robert.
You want to do it?
No, I want you to do it. I'm going to let Bob continue because obviously he's a heck of a lot more important. But at the same time, since you're here and you don't know it, today is Bob's birthday.
Oh. Happy
Bob was
birthday!
18 when JFK was killed. So
Wow.
happy 71st. So, if you want to. It's not coming through.
It will.
Okay, there we go.
It has a delayed reaction. Happy birthday, Bob Roden.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. And may you be blessed with many more.
And while we're waiting for Bob to finish up as well, I forgot something a little bit earlier. And since we got a few minutes, I'm going to bring him up now. I want to bring up Don Ratliff to lead us in prayer because Lord knows this country needs it. But I forgot earlier, Don. I'm sorry. I'm just, like I said, I'm so nervous. You probably forget my middle name.
That's okay. Shall we pray? Father, we're grateful for the opportunity to come and remember our beloved fallen President, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and remember the wonderful ways in which he led this country and the principles by which he led this country. We ask that you guide our current leaders and restore us to the principles upon which this nation was founded. We ask for your blessings for the people who came here today seeking the truth, and we ask for a special blessing on the researchers and the witnesses who are trying desperately to get the truth to the members of our nation. We ask for a blessing for those who come here, that you watch over them while they're here and as they make their way back homes, wherever that might be. Again, we're grateful for the opportunity to be here, to seek the truth, and to continue to seek the truth and to spread the truth. We ask for your blessings in thy name. Amen.
And one other thing I'm going to just point out before I give this back to Bob and we get on with the moment of silence. Again, after we leave here, we're going to Lee's grave at Shannon Rose Hill Cemetery. We need people that can drive. I mean, unfortunately, we don't rent buses here. But if you do have a car and you are interested in coming, please come forward after we're done here. For everybody that doesn't know where Rose Hill Cemetery is, if you put in your nav system, your GPS, 7315 Lancaster Avenue, Fort Worth, that's the funeral home address next to Rose Hill Cemetery. If you go in that left entrance by the funeral home and keep turning to your left, you'll go about here to the white building over there and you'll see a mausoleum in the middle of the circle. Lee's grave is just to the left of that. And again, we ask you, if you do have a car and you can shuttle some people out there for us, we would appreciate it. And from there, like I said, just come up afterwards and we'll make our pilgrimage out there like we do every year as well. And with that,
we didn't do in the first year, but thank you for being part of this. It's difficult to figure out exactly the moment. It's now 12:28. The moment of the assassination was 12:30 and 30 seconds when the first shot was fired. That's when it began. It took a total of about 8 seconds from the first shot to the end. The Warren Commission said 5.6 seconds because from the time the president was visible from the 6th floor window because of that tree over there until the moment of the fatal shot, it was 5.6 seconds. But there actually was a longer period of time than that. They had to hide that fact because the first shots are fired when you couldn't see the president from that window. So, okay. We're almost at that point in time. I'm trying to keep it as accurate as possible. And we're talking about 57 seconds, so it's almost a minute. 53 seconds? All right. Anyway, folks, I appreciate your coming again. There'll be a few more speakers, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm very happy that I was asked to it. And we're doing a little countdown here of about 20 more seconds, is it? Okay. We'll try to keep it as quiet as possible. Of course, it doesn't always work out that way, thanks to the cars in the street and the trains and what have you. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, could we please have a moment of silence? Thank you. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Before I introduce Beverly, again, thank you. This is Officer Robert Rowe. He was there at the arrest of Lee Harvey Oswald. All the actual arresting officers are now dead. They all passed away. He's the only person I know who's actually at the scene. He was still here. So thanks for coming, Robert. Appreciate it. Beverly, thank you so much. Please.
Thank you. This is part of the history of JFK, and that is that his favorite gospel song was Amazing Grace. And I sing that every year right here at this spot, and that's what I'm going to do today. Feel free to sing it with me if you know the words, or hum along.